Hello everybody, today we're doing a video for GTA Car Kits in a 2017 Toyota Tacoma, and today we're going to be showing you how to install our Android based stereo in your car. It features a 9-inch display with the modern IPS screen, so you can still do things like Bluetooth, radio and Bluetooth music. Your steering wheel controls will work, your original rear camera will still work, but you're able to connect this unit to a personal hotspot or Wi-Fi network to use apps like Google Maps, Waze and Spotify. Plus you have access to the Play Store, so you can download additional apps. This radio also features a wireless CarPlay and a wired Android Auto. I'm going to quickly demonstrate wireless CarPlay. So we have our iPhone here. It's already connected to the radio. As you can see, this is a standard Apple CarPlay, so you're able to do phone, music, and this is a way safer way to use your phone while driving. So now we're going to go ahead and show you how to install this radio in your Toyota. So the tools you're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, some sort of panel removal tool, and 10mm socket with an extension. So we're going to first use our panel removal tool, and we're going to remove this surround around the radio. So we're going to use the tool, kind of get underneath this panel. You can do it closer to the passenger, just like that, and it comes off. As you can see, it's only held on clips. So the next step is to remove the 4 bolts. So there's 2 on each side, 2 on this side and 2 on this, and we're gonna go ahead and use our 10mm socket with an extension. So now that the 4 bolts are removed, you can grab the radio and pull it out. Once you pull it out, there's a lot of connections at the back, and you simply press on the clips and remove it. So this is for the antenna. If some connection is stuck, you can kind of use your flathead screwdriver. You press it down, move it out. And there's also, this one is for the USB under the radio. This one is main power. These are the speakers. As you can see, some of the connections stay connected, as this bottom part is for the original XM radio. So once you remove it, the next step from the original radio, we're going to remove these brackets. So there's these small bolts on the sides, 5 on each side, and we're going to use our Phillips screwdriver to remove them. So we removed the 2 brackets from the original stereo, and they're marked left and right. So we're gonna grab the right one. The right one is closer to the passenger, and we're just gonna mount it like that using the original bolts under the radio. And then the left one, of course, is gonna go on the other side. So now we installed the original brackets on our stereo. As you can see, you're gonna use 3 bolts, not 5, because we don't have this bottom portion, and this is sufficient. So the next step would be to you're gonna put the radio away. The next step will be to show you how to wire microphone and GPS antenna up into that corner. So here on the driver's side, our goal is to get the wires fed through and to the back of the stereo. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pop this panel. We're gonna use our panel removal tool to get the clips off. Next, we're gonna peel back the weather stripping. We're gonna grab our microphone and our GPS antenna, and we're gonna get them on the inside here in the corner towards the windshield. And then we're gonna take our 2 wires, and we're gonna grab them from the inside. We're gonna slowly pull them through. And once you pull them through, you can put back the weather stripping. We're gonna start from the bottom here. Make sure you take your time and hide the wires nicely. I'm doing it quickly, but you should take your time. And so now that you have these two wires on the inside, you're gonna continue, and we're gonna continue from the inside. On the inside, we're gonna also drop the other panel, so the panel under the steering wheel is completely kind of hanging. Our goal is to have all the wires hidden behind it once we put the panel back, and just simply clips on. So we can keep feeding the wires through. So over here we're gonna put the wires through, and now we're gonna use our hand to catch them from the back of the stereo. So we're gonna grab the two wires. It's easier actually, one by one. So now this is the second wire. You carefully pull it through, make sure don't yank it too hard, because the cables can catch on some metal and damage themselves. Just like that. And now we have the wire at the back of the stereo, so we're gonna, to make it a little bit more neaty, we're gonna use a cable tie and tie it. And then at this point you can put the panel back. It simply clips in. So as you can see, we have the two wires here, one for the microphone, one for the GPS antenna, and we use the cable tie in order so it's not as messy. We put the panel back, and now we have microphone, GPS antenna here. At this point you can peel back the 3M tape and sticker them in whichever position you would like. So now the next step is to make the original USB functional. So you're gonna get this adapter, and you're gonna connect it to this gray connection. And our unit comes with 3 USBs, 2 double and 1 single. So this is the single. We're gonna put it onto this adapter, and then we're gonna connect it to the back of the stereo. So this is the double USB that I was talking about. So you have a few options where to wire it. So you can either wire it to the glove box, and as there's no opening really here, you can use a small drill bit to make a hole. Then it's very easy to fish it to the back of the stereo. Or there's a empty switch right here, so you can just pop it out from the back, and it's reachable right now with the radio removed. So you have your few options, but this car has the original USB, so we made this single connection, so that's going to be working. So we're not going to wire the double. So now we're going to take the harness that comes with the stereo. So everything is plug and play. We're going to show you step by step how to wire it. So first, some connections are going to be left unplugged, and that is normal because this harness is made for a few Toyota models. So you're just going to match up whichever ones match to each other. Just like that. Then there's the antenna. This is our original antenna. We're going to plug it in here. This one is going to be unplugged. So also this car has our auxiliary. So you're going to use this another adapter which comes with our radio. And this is also to make your rear view camera functional. So we're going to first match the auxiliary. Then the brown connection goes to our stereo. And then we're going to use the cam VIN connection. That's for the original camera. So we're going to use the one that is going to the original connection, which is this one. So we're going to match it to our cam VIN. And so now at this point we can grab our Android stereo and start making the connections. So over here at the back, first we're going to plug in our brown connection. This is for our auxiliary and the rear view camera. Then this is the antenna, just like that. Also there's ground, which you can connect to one of the bracket bolts on the side of the stereo. So we're going to do that before we put the radio in. There's our microphone. Then this is our GPS antenna. Then we're going to grab our single USB. Also in the package you're gonna get this Wi-Fi antenna, which goes on the other end. So the last thing would be to plug in our main connection, just like that. And we're gonna attach this ground on the side of the radio, and we're gonna start putting the radio back inside the car. So when you're putting everything back, you gotta make sure that there's no wires that are kind of in the way. And if you look from this side over here, you gotta kind of tack all the wires back. We're gonna go ahead and put the radio in. Once the brackets, if you look on this side, the brackets here are in their positions according to these plastic pieces. So there's two on this side and there's one on the other side, right here. So you gotta make sure that it goes in. And now at this point we're gonna put the original 10mm bolts back in place. So now that we put the original bolts back, we're gonna take our trim around the stereo and we're gonna put it back in. So when you're putting it back in, make sure that these corners don't catch in it while you're pushing it in. You're gonna simply push it in to the original clips, just like that. Once you do that, we're gonna go ahead and test the radio. So now we're gonna test the radio to make sure that everything is working. We're gonna press the key once. So first time it might take a little bit longer for the radio to boot up, which is normal. So at this point you can go to radio to check that the sound is working, which it is. You're also gonna check your steering wheel controls, which are working. We're also gonna start the car to check the reverse. So the reverse camera is working. So once you check these things, you can go ahead and set up your Bluetooth and so on and pair the radio to a personal hotspot or Wi-Fi network. And we also have an in-depth video on how to use this radio. So again, this was a video for GTA Car Kits. Hope you liked it, and we'll see you next time.